Hello, this is a very short video on the subject of a missing skill for literacy, or literacy from the inside out. It's about understanding the child's experience and helping them to use their natural visual strengths. My name is Olive Hickmott. I'm a visual spatial thinker. I was dyslexic for 40 years because auditory sequential thinking did not work for me. I graduated with a maths degree and was a software engineer for decades, working on automating hospital laboratories and creating products for the internet. I learned to visualize words, a vital skill for fluency that wasn't and still isn't taught in school. For 50 years, I struggled with poor reading and dreadful spelling. Learning this skill earlier would have changed my life. It's all very simple learning to read when you look at it this way. Up to the age of 4 years old, the world is primarily visual. You are a visual thinker. In fact, 98% of 4-year-olds are creative geniuses. This has been measured by Dr. George Land, who worked for NASA. So you then join school and almost immediately start decoding words. But this is an auditory sequential process. It works for many children, but highly visual thinkers may find it almost impossible. However, when decoding or any other techniques work, children need to move on to storing whole words in their word form area for word recognition and hence fluent reading. So let's just look at changing this around slightly. If we move phonics to just slightly later and move creating words in the word form area to just slightly earlier, we've got a completely different picture. They can create images of words in their word form area, which is scaffolding onto objects they already know. And for those who find phonics impossible, once they've got an image of the word, they can use that image of the word to use the phonics detective and work out where the phonemes are. And then they, again, like the other children, can move on to word recognition and fluent reading. You don't want to be stuck in phonics forever. It's exhausting. So if we teach all 4-year-olds to visualize words using their visual strengths, they will speed up their phonics work, which will be a bonus to everybody. Now let's just take a look at this. This is your brain, and this is your neck, and this is your eye. There is something here which is very clever. It's called the occipital lobe, where you keep pictures of everything in your head. So if I ask you to think of a lion, you'll go to the occipital lobe just underneath the dent in the back of your neck, and you will find a picture of a lion. You may have a male one or maybe have a female one. And when you're very small, you start to learn the meaning of words. So you start to recognize your own name. Then you move on to accessing how to pronounce words like your own name and mummy and daddy. And then you move on to being able to articulate whole sentences. And then when you meet the words on the written word, you'll have two parts of your brain here and then at the top, which talk to each other and will attempt to decode a word. But the vital thing is, once that word's decoded, it needs to go into the word form area, which is that blue star there. So that the next time you meet the same word, you can go on the express pathway straight to the word form area. And that's what word recognition is. And it doesn't matter which way you're learning to read, these two parts of your brain are going to do a great job. And the important thing is that every word passes into the word form area. I've been doing this for 23 years, and 100% of the dyslexics I have ever met are not reliably using their word form area. We are born with no words in our word form area, quite clearly. And we should teach all 4-year-olds whose heads are full of pictures to simply slot words into their pictures. Best place to see your pictures and your words is to look up. And it's easier to teach when children are very young. Now for spelling, once you are using the word form area for fluent reading, you can use the same information for spelling. And many children get good at reading and still don't progress with spelling exactly for this reason. It's the express pathway. It's essential for spelling in the English language that is littered with tricky words, words with silent letters, and worst of all, homophones. All you need to do is relax, look up, see the image of a dog. Now see the word dog written on its side. Now write it down. Keep your eyes on the word without looking at the paper. Do the same with lots of nouns, and then move on to non-nouns on an imaginary whiteboard. It's all really simple. Thank you for listening to this simple explanation. Empowering Learning has worked with thousands of children over the last 23 years, enabling children and adults to use their word form area to store images of words and improve their literacy. You too can do this with simple instructions, and you can teach your own children. We run regular free webinars to explain the vital how-tos at visualkids.co.uk, which is my learning platform. Or you can train as an empowering learning practitioner. My website is empoweringlearning.co.uk, where we'll give you more and more skills to help children resolve the challenges with literacy.